Alright, welcome back to episode 2 of PuroFab with the Patches front-wheel drive turbo 5-speed piece of junk. Nah, it's not a piece of junk. It's just a little rough around the edges and needs to get polished up. Today I'm going to attempt to get the cylinder head back on, and as you can see, things look a little rough down here. I've been using this stuff. I figure if it's good enough to free up some rust, it's good enough to cause cancer and good enough to clean up some of the carbon buildup and get some of the old gasket material off. Also is using some of that goodness. And this is actually a sanding block for sheetrock, plaster dust. And where's my blade? Oh, and I know this will make some people cringe, but I've been using this to get off the rest of the gasket surface. But as you can see, cleans up pretty nice. I wasn't using any pressure, just kind of letting the block do the work by itself. And it does clean up. So we'll see how far we get. But this was step one. The car's been sitting for a few weeks with the head off, and I'm finally just getting some good weather to get back out to it. The goal is to have it running in the next few days, weeks, whatever. And we're going to see what other surprises it has for us. It does clean up pretty nice. Alright, so see if we can zoom in a little bit. Head studs are in, block deck is cleaned. Now the next part of the project, start with the messiest possible tool bench that you can to assemble your cylinder head on. It makes things so much easier. Not really. We're gonna tune back in about 2 minutes, and we're gonna have this cleaned off, and we'll see what we can get done. Alright, so got some bench space cleaned off, ready to go. Here is the cylinder head we're going to be using. Came off of the white car right before I bought it. They sold the short block out, kept the cylinder head in the trunk. We're going to be swapping that over to my blue car. And there's the cylinder head and intake manifold that came off the blue car at the bent valves. And right over there is another cylinder head that I'm going to be doing some secret squirrel shit with, hopefully. And right now I'm just in the middle of putting in some of the rockers that fell out of the head because that cam was loose for whatever reason, and I'll be torquing that down and cleaning up the gasket surfaces for the intake and exhaust, and see what other kind of prep work it may need to drop that one in. Alright, one thing you want to keep in mind when you're putting the cams back in and tightening down the cam cap bolts, as you tighten it down, it's going to put pressure on the springs, open up the valves. You don't want it on a hard surface. Just to be safe, general rule of thumb, put something soft under it to get the head up off of things. So I'm using an old service manual. It's better than nothing. You can even use a bunch of rags, shop towels, whatever the case is. Just took some motor oil just to wet on everything as I'm putting it back together. I unfortunately don't have any assembly lube, but since it's not a new build and an old build, it's fine. It's all worn in. We'll be okay.
And sometimes I just love to watch the world burn. So here's a clip of me taking that sanding pad to the cylinder head surface. I just know some guys will cringe over this.